So here we go. Welcome to another edition of the League One Lowdown. Up next, I'm joined by Jonny from the Ale and Vale podcast, covering all things Port Vale. Welcome to League One, Jonny. Thanks for joining me. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm very well, my friend. And it's great to be able to talk to you. Last season, playoff final win at Wembley, always good. 3-0 win over Mansfield Town. How would you look back at last season? I'm sure it's pleasing to get promoted.
Yeah, it's a bit of an emotional roller coaster, really. We were in the top three for part of the season. Then we had a horrible dip just after Christmas, which linked in with Darryl Clark going off on compassionate leave. It took us about a month and a half to pick up, and then we snatched the playoffs on the last day of the season, pretty much. So. And then from there, it was just amazing. Swindon thought they'd won it after the first leg, giving it absolute big one. And then the second leg happened. And then Wembley, if you could have asked me, what's your perfect day at Wembley? It's 3-0 versus 10 men, comfortable. And it's just, it was just a great day, that was.
Yeah, as always, you have to pick a day, and the way to win promotion is always at Wembley. Of course, it's always nice to get promoted in automatics. You can get it done and dusted, but playoffs is always the way you want to do it. Get promoted at Wembley, and of course, if it's a comfortable win, happy days. So what is the current mood going on at the moment with Vale fans? Being back in League One is always great to hear. Of course, first season back. What is the current mood?
With the majority of the fans, it's nervous because we've signed 2 players. The squad's got about 17 players in at the moment, so everyone's just really twitchy about where the players are. The fact that a couple of players are previously been injury prone at other clubs, then rumours start twitching around that a player misses a friendly and that's it. They're out for 6 months, aren't they? You know what it's like, or they're either out or they're being sold. So people are all a bit twitchy about that. But as captain, we were told at a fans forum last night, a captain's back. He's due to play 20 or 30 minutes tomorrow. And a couple of other lads that have had ops in the summer and stuff like that, and had a bit of rehab and whatnot, they'll be due to play in the friendly. So hopefully that'll ease some nerves and then a signing or two. But it's okay at the minute. They've got some good grace in the bank after the playoffs.
Yeah, of course, always going to. And let's quickly talk about the transfers. As you said, there's only 2 in so far. Lewis Cass, of course, coming back from Newcastle, and Fonzo Ojo from Aberdeen. What's your thoughts on the window as a whole so far? Of course, James Gibbons going to Bristol Rovers. You'd say possibly a relegation rival, whatever. I'm not saying you're going to get relegated, but I'm just sort of saying it's, normally you look at the league, 2 teams are getting promoted. You look at those and go, they could be favourites to go down. But last season, you saw Cheltenham, Cambridge. They had a really comfortable season, mid-table. So what's your thoughts on the transfer window so far?
Yeah, it was disappointing lose Gibbo. He'd come through the academy, but over the past 3 years, he'd played half as many games as Smithy that's come through the academy at a similar time. So financially, you've got to be careful. If his hamstring doesn't go again this season, he plays 46 games. It looks quite poor. If it goes within 5 games and he misses half the season, it's quite a good decision. So I'm torn on Gibbo. Like, it's always nice having that local lad in there. He was blood and thunder. He gave everything. So it'd be interesting to see if he's got that same sort of edge against a different side, with a different side. Sorry, but we'll find that out this season. And Cass coming in, he did really well for us at the first half, but unfortunately got injured. So that'll be another interesting one. And then Fonzo Ojo comes in with massive praise from Scunny fans and Wigan fans. So who knows? We didn't think we needed a midfielder, but we've got one.
Indeed, it's always a good position to strengthen in, and I want to talk about your players as well. Some town fans don't know much about your squad. I know Ben Garrity he's a player. Who else should we look out for? And any other dark horses we should look out for?
Smithy's always one to look out for. So centre half, he looks about 12. He's got a gap in the front of his teeth. He smiles at strikers all the time with that gap in his teeth. But he's an absolute animal. He pinches, he rakes his studs down, he falls over holding his face all the time. He's the ultimate centre half. He loves a battle, but he then that you'll see them trying to get at him, but he'll just smile at him, which obviously makes it worse for the striker. So Smithy's one definitely to look at, and then James Wilson, he's absolute quality. He does some things with the football that shouldn't be even allowed. It's unfortunate for him with his injury record. Did well at Man United when he broke through early doors, but then it didn't really work. He's made it known he fell out of love with football and he was just doing this as a job. So we're just trying to bring that back for him, and he seemed really happy last year. And yeah, Willow is definitely one that we're looking forward to seeing in this league, to see if the step up in quality and a bit more space that he gets works.
Indeed, and it was a 2016-17 season when you guys got relegated, so it's been a few years since you've been in League One. So what's your thoughts, your feelings going into this campaign? Obviously, the main job is to stay up, but I'm sure there's still got ambitions there to keep that momentum going after getting promoted.
Yeah, I think with anything, top of the bottom half would be lovely with a promoted team. There's some massive clubs in League One now. It's not like it used to be. You look at Peterborough, they're a yo-yo club. They do really well in the transfer market. Derby are going to do well this season. Now they've had the takeover. You've got yourselves, Pompey. There's teams in there that have been there, done that. Wickham have now established themselves as kind of a team that are going to be up there. So there's a lot of teams up there. I think it's about there's kind of the top 10 and then the bottom 14 really. So it's been in and around that bottom 14 and doing what we need to against them teams.
Now let's talk about the head-to-heads then. We haven't played Port Vale for a very long time. I'm sure there's going to be some town fans looking forward to going to Vale Park. Unfortunately, it is a Tuesday night, which is always the way when you want to go to a ground, tick it off your list. We go to Port Vale the 25th of October. And then, of course, you guys come to us in April, which is going to be an interesting month because that is really the final games of the season. So that's going to be a very key date. What can we expect from a Port Vale side under Darryl Clark? I'm sure they're not going to change too much of his ethos because, carry on with the football you play because that's done you well.
Yeah, he plays 3-5-2 usually. He sets up in a way where the wing backs are key to how we play. Then you've got Garrity bursting in midfield, trying to get on the end of it. The strikers don't really play within the box. It's quite interesting that both of them, in Proctor and Wilson, kind of play out wide and then drift in to give Garrity that space. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of tact we go with, whether he tweaks it a little bit because who we're playing sort of thing. But I think at Vale Park, especially, the pitch is massive. October is always wet. It's sandy. It's a clay pitch. It's boggy. It's horrible play on. So it's never going to be a pretty game of football. But I think Clarky knows what he wants and how he's set up. So I don't think much will change there.
Okay then. Any advice for any town fans? I know it's a Tuesday night, which is, as I said, I'm sorry to say it again. Is there any advice for anyone who's going to plan to go to Port Vale in October and any good pubs nearby, anything like that?
That's major advice is wrap up warm, bloody freezing. So Tuesday night's going to be even worse. But yeah, depending on what they like, Bull's Head or Jonny's Bar in Burslem, town centre near the bookies, both do real ales, so that's always nice and welcomes away fans in. Other than that, there's the pub actually at the moment on the away end, the Tommy Cheadle's there that does what it says on the tin. Really, does your basics. But yeah, they're the ones really. Other than that, it's like say Tuesday night, so it's a bit grim.
Yeah. Well, I'll make sure to wrap up wrong and get my thermals on, I think, and have a nice hot drink indeed. Well, Jonny, thanks so much for joining me. Any other business, anything else you want to mention, my friend?
We just keep getting linked with your reserve goalkeeper. So have you heard anything about him?
What's that? Which one? Is it a Lanky?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Oh, that's new to me. Oh,
no.
Okay. He's a good keeper. Good keeper.
Yeah. Because
so, is that a position you need strengthen?
Oh, 100%. We need a keeper. We've only got one. So.
Oh, Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen you sent one guy out to. He's gone to Chesterfield.
yeah,
So
he's a bit of a lunatic. Lucas was. He got sent off twice in the season, like both for different things as well. Like he dragged down someone in the first game of the season, and he flew kick Harry McCurdy in the chest. So we'd all like to do it, but you've got
yeah,
to be a bit. You've got to be a bit less obvious.
I think so too. Definitely, mate. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Look forward to my trip to Vale Park this season, and yeah, best of luck for the season, and bring it on.
Cheers, boss. Speak to you again.